Miss Sassy. How's it going?
It's going great. I'm so glad to have you back here. So wonderful to see you, and I'm glad we get to spend this time together.
Thank you for having me out here. Sassy, we want to talk about, let's go back to the beginning. Miss Sassy
Perfect place to start.
from Boston, a Boston girl. She moves to,
Wicked Pissa.
ooh, she moves to California or where, Miami?
First Boston is where I was born and kind of grew up. Um, Went back and forth because my mom's family was from out here and my dad's family was from back east. So we kind of split our time between Boston and California. And then went to school in Boston at Emerson College, where I became the first Miss Emerson College, the first um, trans Miss Emerson College. Everyone had been a cisgendered woman before. And they still do that today. They still have their pageant to this day. So that's very exciting. So did that, then moved to California, and then back to New York, and then went back and forth from New York and Miami, and then out here. So yeah,
Back to
I've been kind
California.
of everywhere. Yeah.
So now, what was it that you wanted to be when you were growing up? I know you do a lot of stuff, creative stuff, but what was like your first love growing up?
I loved art. I think one of my first memories is picking out my favorite colored crayon from the big box of Crayola crayons. I remember loving the color blue, and then later on I fell in love with the color orange. And I really remember being creative in that sense, and really wanting to color and draw. I remember my first day of kindergarten. They said, you can draw anything you want. And I did two pictures that day. One was of the witch from Wizard of Oz, the green-skinned witch in the big hat, because I was fascinated with the witch. And the other thing was Miss America. And Miss America was in her sash and her crown, and she had green eyeshadow on and big red lips and was very glamorous. And that's what I chose to draw for my first Draw Anything You Want assignment. And it was a commentary on who I was at that time, a 5-year-old child. I wanted to be Miss America. I wanted to have that makeup on, and I wanted to be glamorous and fabulous like her. So, yeah.
Now, how was it that you discovered you were different? How did you feel? Did you feel you identified more with the female gender, or were you okay being a boy?
Um, I was okay being me. And until anyone told me that the way I was wrong, I never thought there was a problem. Like I was running around the house at age 5 in a curtain that I had taken down and wrapped it around me, and I was Snow White. And, that's just who I was, and that's how I expressed myself. And I never thought there was a problem with it until I heard other people saying, oh, acting like that is not right. You are wrong for being like that. And it wasn't until that time that my little child brain started processing that I was different than other kids. I knew, though, that I wasn't a boy. Like, there was, do you remember that nursery rhyme? Snips and snails and puppy dog tails, that's what little boys are made of. Sugar and spice and everything nice, that's what little girls are made out of.
Right.
And I always knew that I was not made of snips, nor snails, or puppy dog tails. I was made of sugar and spice and everything nice. And
Wow.
that's how I identified. So because society said that that's what little girls are made of, I started, feeling more towards the feminine.
And then when did you decide that it was time to become femme? Dress up and
Yeah.
actually, go through.
Well, I mean, I think that my mom went to school for beauty, so she was, very glamorous all the time. She had wigs in the 70s. That was very popular. So when I came along, she still had these old wigs that, she had tucked away somewhere. And I found them, of course, and I would run around the house with them on. And, I always wanted to be glamorous. And I think about Dolly Parton when she talks about her look and where she got her inspiration. She was inspired by the, ladies of the night that would walk in her small town because they were all done up, and she thought of that as glamour, and that's what inspired her. I always knew I wanted to be glamorous, so that's kind of what inspired me, the makeup and the hair and all of that. If it's putting the glamour on, it's like I feel like I start every day when I get out of the shower as a blank canvas. And then everything else that goes on is putting the glamour on, putting that drag on, whether it's a suit and going to work or whether it's a dress and makeup and hair. It's all drag, it's all glamour, putting on. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think that's true for everybody, no matter who they are. So, now, as far as your creativity, when did you discover, you had all these talents, you're an artist, you're a journalist, do a lot of stuff. Now you're getting into fashion. What was like the first thing that you discovered you were creative at and with?
I really loved music. I recorded with Chic, and we did our rap albums and whatnot. And that was truly where my love was, where it was at that time. Like, I loved being creative. I remember for a school assignment once we had to create a song for a product. And I was a big Debbie Gibson fan, and I remember drawing this album cover and creating this song where I was portraying Debbie Gibson. And I remember that very clearly, and I wanted to, be that kind of 80s pop star. We've talked about that before. Tiffany and the Bangles and like Belinda Carlisle, these were all the women that I wanted to be. Like, I wanted to be coming out of the blue, and, I wanted to be an electric youth. Those were the things, and they were all so feminine. There wasn't I never wanted to be Michael Jackson or Bruce Springsteen or anything like that. So yeah, music was really the root of it, and all kind of visual media with that. The music video was happening at the time, Madonna, Like a Prayer, all of these things were kind of happening, and it was changing the way media was. And I wanted to be a media artist. Like, I didn't want to be a specific gender. I just wanted to be that glamorous female star. Yeah.
Okay. By the way, Team Debbie Gibson and Team Tiffany. We established that a while ago. Although we both love both. But.
Yes, yeah, absolutely. And we got to interview Tiffany, which was amazing. Like, what an amazing time that was. And I heard it through the grapevine that Debbie Gibson is going to be at RuPaul's Drag Con this year. So fingers crossed, Debbie, I want to do an interview with you because she really was one of the very first icons of mine. Yeah.
Absolutely. Debbie, we're coming for you.